Alright guys, how's it going? Bad News Bears here, and Gekishin Squadra has been out for a couple days, and I'm still seeing a lot of the same questions, especially over on like the public Discord. So I kind of wanted to give like a few tips or tricks or just like a basic rundown on features of Gekishin Squadra at like an entry level. There's some information that the game just doesn't tell you, or something that's very confusing. So I'm going to cover a lot of stuff loosely here. And if I plan to do a video that's more in depth, I'll let you guys know and link it in the description and at the end of the video. All right, so shut up, Zamasu. The first thing I want to start off with is linking your Bandai Namco ID. So when you first log into the game, if you played the beta, you're probably going to want that beta tag, right? So when you get to the login screen, it gives you an option to link an account or to like transfer an account. You can't do that at that screen. What you have to do is create a new account, and then you have to come here and hit link Bandai Namco ID. After you do that, you'll have like officially linked your account, so you could use multi-platform crossplay or cross progression rather. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to come to news, and then you're going to come to messages. You'll see this pre-registration reward and Gekishin Squadra EM reward. One of those will be your badge, and the other one will be our pre-register rewards. So you can also get your pre-register rewards here. This is where you'll get your Daima Goku, your capsules, and other things. So that covers two things. Even I, for like the first day, didn't know how to get my pre-registration rewards. Outside of that, there isn't a whole lot here you need to worry about. There is the game guide. If you have questions about a few things that I don't cover, it's probably because I didn't feel the need to cover it. It's probably here. You can see a breakdown on game rules, how parties work. Yeah. I will actually quickly jump into parties. So if you want to play in a party, you would have to click this screen here. If you have not played with the person before, you'll need to create party ID. It'll come up down there, copy it, send it to them, and they can request to join. You can accept it, and then after that, they'll start showing up in your player list. And then once you have them on your player list, it's as simple as clicking them and inviting them or requesting to join if they're already in a party. Now, moving on from that, there is a topic that I wanted to discuss that I kind of forgot at the time. So my camera's off because I just woke up the next day after having recorded the video, and I'm editing the video and went, oh, I never talked about settings. There are some important settings, so let's just go through them all. When we talk about general, everything here is what you want to hear and what you want to see, or read rather. So text and voice, obviously for me, is English. I'm an English speaker. I mean, you can maybe want to do a Japanese as that. For vibration settings on controller, I don't think there's a reason that you would need to have it on, so I think that's just preference. Privacy has some interesting things. So basic stuff here, that's all preference. I mean, all of this is preference at the end of the day, but there was something I want to draw attention to, which is anonymous mode, which hides your name from other players. So you just come up as, I believe it's player 1, 2, 3, or 4. There is streaming mode, which hides other players' names. So the reason you might want to do this is if you are a family-friendly stream and you want to avoid inappropriate names, you maybe want to throw this on. And then there's stream matching delay. So it makes it harder for people to stream snipe you. You can throw, I'll turn it on here, so you can see you can put up to a 100-second delay on your queue when you hit the button. Stream snipers won't know you have this delay. They'll get forced into a match before you're even actually queued up. Pretty useful tool, all things considered. Audio, entirely up to whatever works best for you. Video, a lot of this is whatever works best for you. Well, actually, all of this is whatever works best for you. I personally did, however, change. Actually, sorry, no, I shouldn't say that. It's rewind time, you know? For video settings, screen shake I turned off. It just helps with readability within fights. Emphasis outlines should be on. Those are the only two things that I would recommend actually looking at and having it set the way I do. I changed colors just because it works best for my brain. I made myself blue, ally team green, enemy team red, and bosses and NPCs purple. Going into graphics, there is a correct answer here, which is put everything as low as you can to have the best performance possible. I have a pretty decent PC. I like good quality graphics. I keep everything high, even though it's technically worse. Battle. This, I would say, when you're learning the game, leave all of this on. Once you're done learning the game, go to battle tips and battle guide and turn them off. It's just more unnecessary screen clutter in a game that already has a ton of unnecessary screen clutter. Damage, healing amount, and EXP obtained, you're gonna want on. I don't know why they even let you turn it off. Controller, dead zones, that's entirely up to how your controller functions. Rush attack settings. So if we're talking about Gekishin, whether you should play on controller or mouse and keyboard, personally, I play on mouse and keyboard, and I think you're putting yourself at a very slight disadvantage playing on controller. I think you have just a tiny bit less control, but you do still have, like, it's so close. Lock on target, or lock to target should be on. Semi-auto, I would put to off. Prioritize all except enemy NPCs on. Priority conditions, this is the biggest one. Put it on lowest total HP. Lowest total HP percent is a bit of a bait, because when you get into, like, especially characters like Vegeta, who get stronger the less health they have, like more defensive, that Vegeta is going to be at a lower percent more often than like an Oob, but the Oob will still be easier to kill because he actually has a lower health number, plus he isn't as tanky. Lowest total HP, odds are most of the time is what character your team is focusing on, so you do want to have it set to this. 100%, this will actually win you games. This setting right here, changing this setting, will win you games. Auto aim settings on. Prioritize all enemies except NPCs on. Priority controls, again, lowest total HP. Active during these, I feel like these you could probably get, you could probably do with whatever you're comfortable with. I personally, if I'm using controller, I don't like aim assist, so I would have it off. I'm not sure how potent it is in this game. It might actually be completely broken. Play around with aim assist, honestly. Position direction settings, this is all up to you guys. Camera settings, all up to you guys. Display settings, all up to you guys. What I will say with customizing screen layout, it's different if you're using your controller versus your mouse and keyboard. That's actually kind of cool. I'm gonna go to mouse and keyboard because this is what I actually use. So as you can see here, my map is way bigger. Actually, I want to move these over because these go off my HUD for some reason. Anyway, the only things I've changed is I've made the map way bigger, and I've moved the character portraits down here just so they're more in my vision. I could probably honestly put them right here and it might be a little bit better. Maybe? I don't know how I feel about them there. I'm just gonna leave them back down where I had them for now. It's nice to be able to quickly see who's alive and who's knocked out very quickly without having to look all the way across the screen over here. So that's very good. There's multiple presets. Do what you're comfortable with. I recommend moving information closer to the middle of the screen if possible. Relevant information anyway. I'll save that. And then for mouse and keyboard settings, it's all very similar to what I said about controller. A lot of it is whatever you find helpful. Minimap camera movement is useful, but also kind of makes me miserable. I click on the minimap every once in a while by accident, so I think I might turn that off. And then, yeah, rush attack settings, lock to target. I don't do that because I like to have freedom. This is where you get advantage on mouse and keyboard over controller, is the freedom to not really have to lock to target so much, and you have just more control over what you're doing. And that's it for settings. Like I said, controller players, I'm telling you, put your priority conditions on lowest total HP. It will make and break your game. Is there's not a whole lot here that I necessarily think I should go over. I guess I could break down helpers. Currently, each class has 3 helpers, and you can only use each helper for their respective class. So you can see Nail, World King, and Botamo are attack or DPS supports. When you get supports, you'll have World King, Kaba, and Bubbles. To unlock the rest, you do it through Star Collection, which we'll cover later. So for helpers, for DPS or damage, you have Nail, who follows you around and launches follow-up attacks against enemies hit by rush attack. World King, who applies all attack up, which basically just buffs your teammates' attacks, or sorry, your own, because it only applies to yourself while you're in range. And Botamo, who pushes away the nearest enemy hero in range, so it's good for self-peel if your character's like Piccolo. And then on the tank side, you have Kaba, applies all defense up to self when you're in range. Hyper Mega Rildo applies Wrath to the nearest enemy hero in range. Wrath makes the enemy attack it. And then Higher Dragon, which quickly moves you in a set direction, stops after hitting a wall or sustaining an attack. I actually think this one's pretty bad. For tech, you have Shu, applies all defense down and movement speed down to enemy heroes in range. This one is very, very good. Bubbles applies movement speed up and increased step efficiency to self and allied heroes within the AoE. And then Farmer, or Farmer with a shotgun, attack the nearest enemy hero in range, applies all defense down and movement speed down. Now, I will go a bit more in depth with these whenever I do build videos, like recommending what you should have on each character. For now, read your character's kits, read the support items, and then pick what you think would synergize best with your kit. Moving on to the shop. The shop is... Actually, sorry, the shop. The shop is pretty straightforward. You have 2 currencies, Zenny and gems, really, or sorry, 3 currencies, Zenny and gems, and then EX points that you use in the normal shop. So Zenny you'll use for your daily rewards. As you can see, I have 3 daily bonuses. The Zenny you get out the gate, and you get one of these out the gate. Every day it'll refresh, you get 100 Zenny and then 50 memory tokens of a random character. As far as I'm aware, it is always a character you own. After you get a few more characters, you'll unlock the second one, which is another 50 memory, and then after 12 more characters, you'll unlock the 4th one, which is, I believe, 50 memory for another character. This is kind of an incentive to buy characters, which I'll talk about buying characters, because you also do get bonus memory every day. Now, buying characters. It takes a while to unlock characters in this game. Characters are pretty cheap, but when you consider the grand scheme of MOBAs, it's actually pretty expensive. If you take Smite, for example, Smite gives you every character ever for about $30 Canadian or like 25 US. Whereas this game, you can buy every character for about, I believe it's this bundle. It might be this bundle. It's one of these 2 bundles for about, let's just say 40 Canadian even. And that's not even all the characters for life. That's just all the characters currently in the game. So it is a bit expensive. Honestly, if you want to buy a couple characters, I don't blame you, especially like the tier 3s. The tier 3s take a long time to unlock. If you really, really, really want to play hit and sell, I wouldn't advise against buying one or both of them, honestly. We'll talk about star levels in a bit here. And then there are also the legendary skins. I personally, if you have money to throw at the wall, you know, go for it. Do what makes you happy. I personally won't be spending money on skins like this. And then you also have EX tokens. EX tokens are owned by getting duplicates of things you already own from G Capsules. So basically how that works is if you want one of these skins, you have to get 1,000 of items you already own. It's possible you get more EX tokens if the duplicate you got is worth more. I'm not entirely sure. I have 11 of them. Yeah, so that's how you get like the crazy fancy like effect skins. Going over to the G capsules, they are pretty straightforward. They are a currency that you can get for free. You can also buy them. Where are they here? They're here somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Can you not buy them? No, you can't buy them. You can just buy rolls. So they are a free currency. You can, the normal summons, you get color variants and stamps, and then you can actually pull up the rates here so you can see like the rare stamps and the odds with them. So you can look at everything there and all the odds if you would like. And then there are the red capsules, which are a little more special stuff. You get, this is where you can get all the rare stuff. So you get emotes for like the start of the battle, like the intros. You can get new finishers. You can get like the start battle emotes. You can get the MVP screen emotes. You can get the different victory poses. This is where you get all like the cool stuff, I guess you could say. The only thing really, I guess there's two things to cover. One I will cover more in depth, which is the card system, which to get to the cards, you have to go to battle. Nope. Sorry, you have to go to standard battle, divine card combo list. I actually maybe won't cover this more in depth. Maybe I'll just leave this to builds. I might do a separate video on it. If I do, it'll be at the end of this video or linked in the description. So basically, you have a bunch of different cards. Yeah, I will do a separate video for this actually. You have a bunch of different cards, so please check that out. There are damage cards, tank cards, and tech cards. You are not limited to what you can pick in each role. If you're a damage character, you can pick a tank card. They are tiered 1, 2, 3, 4. By doing damage in the game, you can unlock more cards. You have to pick a tier 1 at the start. You have to pick a tier 2 second. You have to pick a tier 3 third. Once you get all 3 cards, you get a bonus passive, which is just raw stats. Like I said, I'll go more in depth with this in a different video. Be on the lookout for that this weekend, hopefully. So hopefully it'll be the video after this one. Beyond that, there is one other thing that I need to talk about, which is Star Collection. What is Star Collection? How do you get it? I sort of talked about this in my Star Collection video, which if you want to watch that, link will be in the description. It'll probably be on the screen at the end of the video. I showed off all of the rewards you get here. So this is account level. As you progress through the game, you'll level up. Now, how do you actually do that? By playing the game, you'll get memories, which, as you can see here, I have 49 out of 200 for Vegeta. Basically, when you play a game, you are more likely to get memories of the character you played, but you are not guaranteed to get memories of the character you played. So I could play Zamasu here, my most played character, and I could get Piccolo memories, or Cooler memories. Like I said, you're more likely to get what you play. So do with that, you know, if you want to grind one character, you don't have to worry too much. But if you want to grind as many levels as you can, as fast as you can, you'd want to play your lowest level character and try to catch them up as fast as possible. So you can progress more, unlock more characters, and keep using the lowest remaining character. Now, it does also cost Zenny to upgrade your character, and as you upgrade more, like, it progresses. So you see Piccolo here has 6 out of 30, the cap being 30, and then costs 300. Then if we go to Deborah, who I've already leveled up once, it goes up to 100, 600. And then if you go up to Gohan, it's 200, 1000. And then if you go up to Zamasu, it jumps all the way up to 900, 2000. And then I know after when you get to 4-star, it costs 2000 memory. And I'm not sure how much gold or how much Zenny. But it does increase exponentially, so it does take a lot of time. Now, there are a bunch of different things you get from here. You get a bunch of hero unlocks, and heroes are tiered. So when you get your first, you know, tier 4, you can only select these characters. You have to wait until, you know, level 7 where you get your tier 3 characters, or level 12 where you get your tier 2s, or all the way to 31 when you get your first tier 1 character. This is why I mentioned that maybe buying Cell, Android 18, or Hit might not be a bad use of money. You do get a bunch of other things here. You get your supporters pretty early on. You can see you get Batamo, Icarus, Farmer, Nail, Rildo. And then once you get a bit further on, once all the supports are gone, it starts replacing them with SG capsules. So you can see you do get quite a few SG capsules throughout your time playing the game. You do also get victory emotes. And that's basically everything you get from this. There is something I did want to say. If you get to your first tier 3 character unlock, or any tier 3 character unlock, we already have Daima Goku. You can pick him, and you can get 5,000 memory for him. That will get you up to level 5, so you can effectively skip 5 levels just by reselecting Daima Goku. Well, that's everything I wanted to go over with you guys. I hope it cleared up a few questions that you might have had about the game. If you do have any questions or anything you want me to go more in detail with, head down in the comments, not the description. Leave a comment, let me know. I'll do my best to help out. That's all for me. Like, comment, subscribe. There should be a video on screen right now. Bears out. Peace.